There is a moment, right before money arrives, when something inside you quietly says, no. Not out loud, not even in words you'd recognize, but it happens. Every single time. And it might be happening to you right now. Before we go further, I want to ask you for one small thing. Subscribe to The Word Creates and turn on notifications, because what I'm about to show you today is not something you'll want to half hear and forget. This is the kind of truth that changes how you see every dollar, every opportunity, every no you've ever received. Stay with me until the end, because the second half of this video will explain exactly how to reverse what I'm about to reveal. Now let's begin. Florence Scovel Shinn used to say that the word is a mold, and life must fill that mold, whether the mold be a hoop of iron or a mold of gelatin. But there's something she taught that most people skip past. Something buried quietly in her lessons. Something so simple that it slips through the mind like water through open fingers. She said that most people are not actually asking for abundance. They believe they are. They pray for it. They visualize it. They write it on vision boards and whisper it before sleep. And yet, nothing moves. Why? Because somewhere beneath the conscious request, there is a second voice. Quieter, older, and that voice is not asking for money at all. It's pushing it away. You won't hear this voice speaking in sentences. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't say, "I don't deserve wealth," in plain English. It hides inside habits so small you've stopped noticing them. The way you flinch when an invoice arrives before you even open it. The way you say, "I could never afford that," as a joke. The way you feel a strange tightness in your chest right after receiving good news, as if your body is bracing for it to be taken away. Somewhere along the way, your nervous system learned that money is dangerous, and a brain that believes something is dangerous will always, always find a way to keep it at a distance, even while your conscious mind is begging for it to come closer. This is the rejection nobody talks about, and it might be running your life right now. Here's the part that changes everything. The brain does not distinguish between a real threat and a remembered one. If at some point in your life, even a moment you've long forgotten, money was tied to conflict, shame, loss, or fear, your nervous system filed that experience under danger, and it has been quietly protecting you from danger ever since. Maybe it was a parent who argued about bills at the kitchen table while you sat frozen in the next room. Maybe it was the day you were taught, gently or not so gently, that money changes people, or rich people are greedy, or we're not the kind of family that has that. Maybe it was one single moment of humiliation, not having enough at the checkout counter, watching a card get declined in front of someone whose opinion mattered to you. Your mind stored that moment, not as a memory you consciously replay, but as a rule that now runs silently in the background every time abundance tries to move toward you. And here is the strange, almost unbelievable truth Florence Scovel Shinn pointed to nearly a century ago. The subconscious mind does not care whether the belief is true. It only cares whether the belief is familiar. Familiar feels safe, even when familiar is poverty. Even when familiar is struggle. Even when familiar is watching money slip away right when it was finally within reach. So the brain, loyal, obedient, endlessly protective, will sabotage the very thing you say you want, simply because the alternative, true abundance, is unfamiliar territory. And unfamiliar, to a nervous system built for survival, feels like danger. This is why so many people self-sabotage right at the edge of a breakthrough. The new client cancels the day before signing. The raise falls through after months of hints that it was coming. The unexpected windfall arrives, and is gone within weeks, spent on something that somehow felt urgent at the time. It isn't bad luck. It's a mind protecting an old identity. But if that's true, if the block is invisible, if it's older than your memory, if it hides inside reflexes you don't even know you have, how could you possibly find it? How do you locate something your own mind has hidden from you, on purpose, for your own protection? There was a woman, we'll call her Marion, because that was a name Florence Scovel Shinn often used in her own case studies. who came to a small study circle in New York in the years when Shinn was teaching what she called the game of life. Marion said she had done everything right. She had read the books. She had spoken her affirmations every morning, standing in front of the mirror, saying the words with what she believed was full conviction. She had cleared clutter from her apartment because she'd read that clutter blocks the flow of prosperity. She had given generously, even when she had little, because she'd heard that giving opens the channel for receiving. And still, month after month, her income stayed exactly where it had always been, not falling, not rising, frozen, as if held in place by an invisible hand. Shinn asked her a simple question, not about her affirmations, not about her vision board. She asked, "What did money mean in your home growing up?" Marion paused, and then, almost involuntarily, she said, "Money meant someone was about to leave." She hadn't planned to say that. It surprised her as much as it surprised the room. Her father, she explained, had been a man who came and went with the money. When there was enough, he stayed, generous and warm. When there wasn't, he disappeared for weeks, sometimes months, chasing some new scheme, some new city, some new promise of fortune. Money, to young Marion, was never a symbol of safety. It was a warning sign. It meant instability was near. It meant someone she loved was about to vanish. She had spent her adult life quietly, unconsciously, keeping money at arm's length. Not because she didn't want it, but because some buried part of her still believed that too much of it meant loss was coming. Shinn didn't tell her to simply think positive and repeat richer affirmations louder. She told her something different. She said the old belief had to be spoken to directly, acknowledged, thanked for trying to protect her, and then consciously released, replaced with a new, deliberate word. Marion began saying, every morning, not "I am wealthy," a phrase that felt hollow and far away, but something closer to the wound itself. Money is safe in my hands. Money does not take away the people I love. I am the one who decides what money means to me now. Within that same year, an opportunity Marion had turned down twice before, an offer to expand her small dressmaking business into a partnership, came back around a third time. This time, she said yes. Here is what Marion's story actually reveals, and it's the second piece of this puzzle. The piece that turns understanding into transformation. You cannot out-affirm a wound you haven't acknowledged. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the spoken word has creative power, that, as you speak, so shall it be done unto you. But there is a hidden condition inside that law that most people never learn. The new word only takes root once the old word has been found and released. If you are affirming abundance on top of an unspoken belief that money equals danger, or loss, or shame, or the departure of someone you love, you are not building a new house. You are painting the walls of a house that is still, underneath, standing on the old foundation. The rejection isn't a flaw in you. It was never a character defect. It was a form of loyalty. Your mind trying, in its own clumsy and outdated way, to keep you safe from a pain it once witnessed and never wants to see again. But loyalty to an old wound is not the same as protection. And the moment you can name what money once meant to you, the moment you can say it plainly, without flinching, you take back the authority that belief has quietly held over your life. This is why the number 3 kept appearing to Marion in the months after that conversation, on receipts, on clocks, on the door of the office where she signed her partnership agreement. 3, in the old spiritual traditions Shinn drew from, is the number of completion through creative expression. The number that marks the moment thought becomes form. It was not a coincidence. It was confirmation, arriving exactly when her inner word had finally changed. So how do you find your own hidden rejection? The one running quietly beneath your conscious desire for more. Start here. Sit somewhere quiet and finish this sentence honestly, without editing yourself. Growing up, money meant one. Don't reach for the poetic answer. Reach for the true one. It might be safety. It might be shame. It might be fighting or silence, or a parent who worked themselves into exhaustion just to keep the lights on. Whatever surfaces first is usually the real one. Next, notice your body the next time money moves. When a bill arrives, when a client pays you, when you check your balance. Is there tightness? A held breath? A flicker of guilt right after something good happens? That physical reaction is the old belief still speaking, even after the mind has moved on. Then, speak to it directly, the way Marion did. Not a generic affirmation borrowed from a book, but a sentence aimed precisely at the wound you uncovered. If money once meant loss, say, "Money strengthens what I love. It does not take it away." If money once meant shame, say, "I am allowed to have more than enough. More than enough does not make me less good." Speak it in the morning, in the mirror, the way Shinn instructed her students. Not as a wish, but as a decree, a word already accepted as true. And finally, practice receiving in small ways before you expect it in large ones. Accept a compliment without deflecting it. Accept help without immediately insisting on paying it back. Let a small unexpected gift, a free coffee, a returned overpayment, a found $10 bill, be received with genuine gratitude instead of suspicion. Every small yes to receiving retrains the nervous system to believe that abundance, when it finally arrives in full, is safe to keep. Your brain was never trying to keep you poor. It was trying to keep you safe, using the only evidence it had. Moments from your past that taught it money and pain were somehow the same thing, but you are not that old moment anymore. You are not the child at the kitchen table, or the person who watched someone they loved disappear the moment fortune changed. You are someone standing here, right now, finally able to see the pattern for what it is. And once you can see it, it loses its grip. Florence Scovel Shinn believed that nothing has power over us once it has been recognized. The unseen enemy is the only one that can defeat us. The one brought into the light has already begun to lose the war. If something in this video felt like it was speaking directly to you, if some old belief just surfaced while you were watching, write it in the comments below, even just a few words. Money meant my. You might be surprised how many other people finish that sentence the exact same way you just did. And if you want more of this, real spiritual teaching, without the fluff, built on principles that have quietly changed lives for over 100 years, subscribe to The Word Creates. Hit the bell. We post new revelations like this every week, and I promise you, the next one might be the one that changes everything for you. And if you want to understand exactly what your body is trying to tell you the next time abundance draws near, the signs so many people miss completely, watch the video on your screen right now. It picks up exactly where this one leaves off. I'll see you there.